Hi everyone, welcome to Bello's Designs. My name is Catherine and today we're going to make this card that I'm calling Max and Pippin's Snowy Morning. Let's talk about the supplies we'll need to get started. You will need one piece of multifarious cardstock. I've trimmed mine down to 4 by 6 inches. I have a piece of lavender cardstock that is 4 1/8 of an inch by 6 1/8 of an inch. And then one card base that folded in half makes a 5 by 7 card. For stamps, we'll be using the mini pine cone, which is LAV 624. Pippin Mini, LAV 581. The Fir Cone Branch, which is LAV 580. The Snowflakes, LAV 026. Max, LAV 604. And the Red Berry Wreath, which is LAV 704. And in this set, we'll only be using the smaller portion of the wreath. Let's talk about the inks we'll need. We'll be using Versafine Clair in Arctic, Peri, Acorn, and Strawberry. I'll also be using a couple of Elements ink pads, so I'll be using the blue Atoll and the Sundance. You'll want to have a couple of blending brushes and a Posca pen to make some snow at the end. I'll also be using my hill masks for the base and the grounding of my card, as well as some stickles. I have the crystal and the Christmas red, and my sweet petunia glue press. Those are the supplies we'll need. Let's get started. Go ahead and jump right in. So in order to start this card, I'm going to begin by using my hill mask to blend my snowy ground. So I'm going to take out the one that's kind of flattish and make sure it's nice and clean. Should have did this before we started, but here we are. And we're going to go about maybe 1/4 of the way down with that. And I'm going to blend some blue down to make my hill. And not a lot. Again, this is just a soft pastel-y card, so we're not going to use tons of ink. Okay, that's good with that. Now let's go ahead and make the background sky, and I'm going to start with Sundance. And just ink up the center of my card a little bit of a light yellow. Put that aside, and I'm going to go around it with a little more of the blue Atoll. And we can just bring it right pretty much to the edges. I'm going to keep the color very light and soft, so I'm not going to go super dark. All right, and that's that for now. All right, the next thing we're going to do is come back in with the Fir Cone Branch and the Acorn ink. Get that on a stamp block. And I'm just going to do about 4 stamps. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. I don't want to come all the way around. I just want to come down to the ground, and I'm making somewhat of an arch with that. So I'll start at the top. it up again and make a second one. And we'll connect those there. Okay, and just a couple more and we'll move on to the berries. Connect that from the ground. And it's okay to go off the side of the card just a little bit. It's perfectly fine. Okay, we'll clean that off. And let's swap out that stamp for the berries. I lost that for a minute. Okay, and I'm going to swap out the ink for the strawberry Versafine Clair. And we'll just do a few berry branches tucked in behind our pine cones. And one more. And there we go. That'll do it for that. Okay, I'm going to, let's just cover that up and make sure we don't have any accidents with it. And I'll bring back in the mini pine cone. And we'll just do a couple at the bottom of our little arch. So I'll do one here. And I'm going to stamp one here. And then one more on the other side just to balance it out a little bit. There we go. Pretty happy with that. So we'll get that put right away. And let's swap out the pine cones for the snowflakes. And I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller ink stamp block for that. So I'm going to start with the cluster of 3 snowflakes. And we're going to do first and second generation using with those. We're going to use the Arctic ink for that part. Just going to randomly stamp those around the arch. And we could probably do a couple more down here if we wanted to. Okay. Now I'm going to clean off that stamp and swap it out for one of the other snowflakes from the snowflake set. And we'll come back in and stamp those with the Berry Peri. And again, I'll do some first and second generation stamps with that. Just all over. Okay. clean that off. And let's swap it out for the other single snowflake from that same set. Maybe fill in some of that background. Just randomly all over this card. And maybe a couple more in here. All right, and that's going to do it for the snowflakes. So clean that off. And let's swap it out for Max. Now Max and Pippin, I'm going to stamp both with the very Peri Versafine Clair. So here's Max. And Pippin. And I think I'll go ahead and do Max first down here at this side. So I'm just going to make sure that I get that inked up really well. I'll just give them a little bit of a press. Since I'm not using my MISTI today, I just pulled out my blocks. Make sure it soaks in there really well. There we go. And any snowflakes that you see behind him will blend in as this dries. And then we'll come back with Pippin, inking him up also in the very Peri, and stamping him here, looking up at Max. There we go. That's all the stamping for my card today. Just clean them off. Put them aside so I don't lose them. And let's go ahead and assemble our card next, and then we'll come back and finish it up with the stipples. So out my Sweet Petunia glue press here. This is just a real easy layout for a card. You could change up the colors, maybe swap out the winter stamps for some spring flowers. Swap out the animals for a fairy. Really anything goes, right? There we go. How fast and easy was that? Now I'm going to put it onto my card base. Actually, before I stick that on there, I'm going to take my bone folder, and I notice this is popping up, and I just want to burnish the side of my card and make sure it lays nice and flat. There we go. And there's my card, almost finished, but not quite. Let's start with the Posca pen. I'm going to use this just to add some snow to my card, and I think I'm getting close to needing a new Posca pen, so I'm not sure if it's going to splatter, but I'm going to give it a try. some little bits of snow there, but not very much. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. Okay, so we have lots of little bits of white snow there. Let's give it a minute to dry and come back in with the red, the Christmas red stickles, and I'm just going to highlight the berries with those, and because I'm left-handed, I'm going to turn my card as I go, but I like to start at the right and work towards the left. Otherwise, I end up putting the heel of my hand in it and just ruining my project. So, here we go. All right, there are our red berries. Now, normally I wouldn't put red with purple and blue, but I do like the look of that. Okay, and we'll add a little white sparkle. And a little bit of snow right on the ground. And there you have it, a quick and easy winter birthday card, Christmas card, or baby gift. Thanks for joining me today. If you're not already a member of Del Bello's Facebook groups, please consider joining us at Del Bello's Designs Lounge, where you can share your projects featuring Lavinia stamp products, or Del Bello's a la carte for other stamp lines Del Bello sells. Have a great week.